If an apartment complex offered you free rent to be a courtesy officer, would you do it? Would you do it if your real job was being a security officer? Let's say you did it for years. You had a security card and everything. And let's say when you got off of your daytime job, you did security at the apartments. The apartments wanted to keep the crime and the drugs out the community. Would you do it if the only bill you had was an electricity bill? Now, if your answer is yes, it's only one problem. The apartments is very ghetto, hood, drug infested. People, these apartments is very bad. The cops do not come to these apartments alone. When they get a call, they come 4 deep with SWAT team on speed dial. Well, people, this security guard moved into these apartments because these apartments offered this man free rent. They wanted him to be a courtesy officer. When this man first moved in, within 2 weeks, he got 5 death threats from gangsters. And people, this really happened. When the gangsters left notes on this man's door, the note said, quote, "Move or die." Ladies and gentlemen, this man was living in them apartments for less than 2 months before someone shot him and took his life. This is crazy. Let me explain. Now, again, just to reiterate, when this man first moved into them apartments, the apartments wanted this man to keep the crime down and they wanted him to keep the drugs out the community. So when this man first moved into the apartments, if he seen something suspicious, he would pull out his flashlight and he would always flash his flashlight at people. People did not like it at all. Also, if this man thought someone was doing something suspicious, he would always ask them, "What are you doing?" He was in everybody's business. Everybody was pissed off at this man. Also, when people would come into the apartment complex, he would always ask them, "Where are you going? Who do you know here?" This man never asked for people ID, but he will always ask people for their name. And also, if this man thought someone was up to no good, he would write down their tag number. He started to write down a lot of people's tag numbers, especially when he see the same car come in and out the apartments multiple times on a nightly basis. And mind you, this man would park his car in front of the apartments with a security light, and he will always circle around the apartments at nighttime. Also, this man had to call law enforcement on 2 different occasions when people pulled out weapons on him. One time someone pulled out a weapon on him when he wrote down their tag number. Another man pulled out a weapon on him when he was asking where he was going, what's his name, who he was going to see, what was the apartment number. So people, again, when this man started to question people on a daily basis and people got very mad at him, that's where he started to get death threats. People would say, "Move or die." Someone even flattening one of his tires one night. So despite all the death threats this man was getting in them apartments, he still wanted to be a courtesy officer because, mind you, he was getting free rent. Now people, fast forward, it's been almost 2 months since this security guard been living in them apartments. The apartments is doing a lot better. His life would change forever one morning when he was headed to work. When this man came out of his apartment and he was headed to work, it was 2 men waiting on him in a black Chevy Caprice sitting on 22-inch rims. The man that was riding on the passenger side in the Chevy Caprice let his window down and shot the security officer 4 times. The man that shot him had dreads in his head, he had a mouthful of gold teeth, and he had a white tank top, and he had Thug Life tattooed on his neck. Everybody knew this man in the neighborhood as Killer One. That's what everybody called this man, Killer One. The man that shot this security guard is now serving a life sentence without parole. The man that was driving the Chevy Caprice, they have not found him yet. This man was living there for under 2 months before he lost his life. He left behind 2 kids and a longtime girlfriend. People, this man died weeks before his girlfriend and his kids was supposed to move in with him. So would you be a courtesy officer if someone offered you free rent?